Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you an original tag, and that is the middle grade book tag. So, in honor of middle grade March, I thought I would put together my first original tag focusing around middle grade. I thought this would be appropriate because we all know that I love middle grade and I read a lot of it, and it's middle grade March, so why not? So I have 8 different questions to share with you today, and let's just dig right in. So the first question is, what is the last middle grade book that you read? And for me, the last middle grade book that I read is Bud Not Buddy by Christopher Paul Curtis. This is a Newbery Award winning historical fiction book. It takes place in the 1930s in Flint, Michigan, and it is about a little boy, Bud, who is trying to find his father. And it just kind of follows him on that journey, and it was very, very good. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and it's another Newbery winner that I can check off of the list that I have read. So that is my answer for that one. The next question is, what is a middle grade book that someone read to you as a child that you have a memory of somebody reading to you? It could have been a parent, it could have been a teacher, anything like that. And for me, I'm going to say Matilda by Roald Dahl. I've mentioned on my channel before that one of my first really bookish memories for a specific book has to do with Matilda, and that was when my 5th grade teacher read it to us in school, and it was such an amazing experience. I still remember sitting at my desk and listening to this book just take life, and it was amazing. The movie's really good as well, but the book just has a special place in my heart. I reread it this past year, and it was just as good as an adult as it was as a kid. It's a fantastic book about a little girl who is brilliant and her parents don't care, and she doesn't have an outlet for all of her brilliance, and so it starts to come out in other ways, and it's very creative. Roald Dahl is a creative genius, and yeah, so that's probably one of my favorite books that somebody read to me as a child. The next question is, what was your favorite middle grade book as a child? So when you were in the middle grade reading years, what was your favorite book then? And I don't really have a lot of memories as far as specific books go during that time, but I do know that I was completely obsessed with the Babysitter's Club. I love the Babysitter's Club. I love the Babysitter's Little Sister books. I read so many of these books as a middle grade student that it's insane. But I did really, really enjoy these as a kid, and so this is definitely going to be my answer for that one. The next question is, what is your favorite middle grade novel now as an adult? And for me, I can't pick just one. There's no possible way. So I have 4. I narrowed it down to 4, and that's as narrow as I could get. So first, I have Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan. This book is phenomenal, especially the audiobook. It is historical fiction, and it follows 3 different children during different times in different parts of the world, and there is a magical harmonica that is involved that ties all of the stories together, and it is so brilliant and so beautiful. And yes, I highly encourage every single person ever to read this because it is just magnificent. Another one of my all-time favorite middle grade novels is Roller Girl by Victoria Jameson. This is a graphic novel, and I think that this graphic novel is just so well done. There are so many themes in this book that are so relevant to kids. It has to do with friendships. It has to do with, confiding in your parents. It has to do with being a good team player. It is all about our main character, Astrid, who decides she goes to a roller derby bout and then decides that she wants to become a roller girl. And it's just about her journey getting there and the friends that she makes and the friends that she loses along the way. And it is just a phenomenal book. I highly encourage everybody to pick this one up. So my next favorite book, our middle grade book, is Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth. This is one that I read last year during middle grade March and completely fell in love with. It is an epistolary middle grade novel that is told, it is in the point of view of Renee, who is a little girl who has a paper route during the Vietnam War, and one of her elderly clients. So she drops papers off, but she also writes him letters back and forth, and it's all about the war and how it's impacting her life and how it's impacting her brother's life. Her brother is about to be drafted and doesn't want to be. And so it really focuses on that topic of the draft and how that impacted kids and their decisions. And it was really, really well done. Absolutely loved it. And then my other favorite middle grade book is Sweep, A Story of a Girl and Her Monster by Jonathan Auxier. And this one was the group book last year for middle grade March. And I read it and it is so beautiful. It is about a little girl who is a chimney sweep in Victorian London and her little golem friend, Charlie, and their life. And it is just so, so beautiful. So any of these 4 books could easily be my favorite. And yeah, so good. All right, moving on. The next question is, who is your favorite middle grade author? And for me, that has to go to Pam Munoz Ryan. I have a collection of her books. So I have Esperanza Rising, Writing Freedom, Becoming Naomi Leone, The Dreamer, and Echo. And I have read 3 of the 5. The other 2 are on my middle grade March TBR for this year. I absolutely love everything that I read by Pam Munoz Ryan is brilliant. There's this certain musical just element to her writing. The only one of hers that I've read that has anything to do with music is Echo, but there's just this theme throughout the book. It's not even a theme. It's just this feeling of a lyrical, just beautiful song that you feel like is being sung to you. I feel like when I read her works, and I think that's why I love it so much. Like I said, none of the other ones have anything to do with music at all, but it's just beautiful writing and cultural writing as well. The other 2 that I've read by her are set in Chile and then Mexico as well. And it's just, like I said, hands down, one of my favorite authors. So definitely Pam Munoz Ryan is my favorite middle grade author. All right, moving on. The next question is, what is a book that you think should be considered required reading for middle grade age? And so I think the go-to answer for this is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This is a phenomenal book about acceptance. It's about a little boy, Augie, who has a facial deformity and just his experience going to a public school setting for the first time. And it's told from multiple different points of view. It's an amazing, amazing book. I read it a few years ago when the movie came out. Great movie as well. And it was super well done. I definitely think that this should be read in schools. But another one that I personally consider, or I personally think should be in schools that I don't really ever hear about, is Ban This Book by Alan Gratz. I know I've recommended this book for middle grade March. I love this book. This is about a girl whose favorite book gets banned from her school library, and so she takes it upon herself to put all of the banned books in her locker and start a library out of her locker. And there are repercussions to her actions, and this book focuses on how to battle against authority when you don't agree with what's being done and how you do it in the appropriate way. It also has to do with censorship and how your parents have the right to tell you what you can and can't read. I just think that it is such an impactful book, and that the lessons that are told in this are lessons that kids aren't really hearing very much, but that are important about who gets to censor what you're reading and how do you stand up to people, especially people of authority, school boards, and that sort of thing when you don't agree with what's happening. You know, how can you battle that in the appropriate way? And I think that this book is phenomenal. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for what I think should be required reading for the middle grade age. The next question is, what is your favorite middle grade cover? And for me, I have a couple to show you, but probably one of my favorites is The Dreamer by Pam Munoz Ryan and Peter Siss. This is just, it's super shiny all the way around. It's so pretty. And yeah, it's just, I was gonna see if there was anything under the dust jacket, but there's really not. There's a little imprint of books on the black cover, but there's not. I just think that dust jacket is just beautiful. And then within the silhouette, there's all of these like rocks and space, and it's just super, super cute. Or beautiful. It's not cute, it's beautiful. But a couple of other middle grade books that I really like the covers of. One is Wolf Hollow. I just think that this cover is beautiful. It's these trees, and the branches are all made up of words. And the words are actually like the first few sentences of the book. And it's foiled. It's just so pretty. And the color scheme of all of it, I just really like this one. And then another one that I really like, I found at a library book sale last year, and it's Peter Pan, and it's these, I think they're the Puffin Chalk editions. But I know that there are editions like this of Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz, and there's another one I don't remember what else, but they're just so pretty. It's like it's on a chalkboard, and the back of it has all children except one grow up. Do you believe? So it's just really pretty. So these are all covers that I was drawn to these books specifically because of the covers, and I think they're beautiful. So those are some of my favorite middle grade covers. And then the last question is, what is your favorite middle grade book to screen adaptation? So a lot of children's books get developed into films. A lot of them do. There's so many out there to choose from. I was looking through my own personal bookshelves just to see what the options were, and they're endless. And so for me, the obvious answer for this is Harry Potter. The movies for Harry Potter are just so amazing. The characters, the casting for it, what they decided to leave out of from the books, I think was well thought out. You have some movies that just leave so much out that it just isn't the book anymore, and I don't think Harry Potter did that. I think Harry Potter stayed true to the books where it was important, and I love the movies of Harry Potter. But then another one that I personally really enjoyed as an adult watching it, I don't know if kids would probably get the same out of it as I did, and that's Bridge to Terabithia. I've talked about this before multiple times on my channel, but this book I read last year during middle grade March, and then I watched the movie right on the end of it, and it just made me sob. This is all about a little boy who has this friend that he meets, and they create this imaginary land out in the woods, and then one day something happens, and it's very sad. But the movie, you'd think this tiny little book gets made into this hour-and-a-half movie, and it's so good. The acting, how they developed Terabithia, which is this imaginary land, how they showed that and just expanded on it was so good. And I just thought that the combination of this book and movie together was amazing. It was just such a life-changing experience for me. And so, anyway, that's probably my other answer to that question. And that's it. Those were all of the questions for the middle grade book tag. So now I'm going to tag a number of people. I wrote them down, so I'm going to look down on my list, but I'm going to tag a number of people, and I hope you do too. But the people that I'm going to tag for this are Krista and Katie, obviously. So Krista from Books and Jams and Katie at Life Between Words are the hosts of Middle Grade March and have been for the past 3 years. And they are some of the people that really got me into reading middle grade more, and I get a lot of my middle grade recommendations from them because I trust their judgment. But some more people that I wanted to tag for this tag are Kara from Wild Book Garden, Danny from Spinelli Speaks, Naomi from Naomi's Bookshelf, Vanessa from Split Reads, Connor from Connor O'Brien, Emily from Novell Novels, and Michael from Michael Nip. So those are the people that I would like to tag to do this book tag. I hope that if you read middle grade at all, that you will do this book tag as well and help in celebrating and just really getting the word out about middle grade this March. And yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. If you have any opinions about any of the books that I showcased today, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions as always. And other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!